Hey, good afternoon, everyone. So we got a last quick thrust to the downside, sort of like front running that market on close order. So it did break the one um, stop losses at 62.92 and has managed to flush down to the daily two support area. And it looks like it's now balancing out, but we did get that thrust down off of the market on close at 3 and a little bit of a gap up on the VIX for the close. So they're trying to front run Friday. Friday, the market makers know that the max pain has dropped 300 points. So it was at 6,300 currently, and it's dropping down to 6,000. So typically, with all that high GEX that we have, it would stay somewhere near this 6,300 level. But with everybody positioning to get in front of it, it looks like that might not happen. Ooh, nice. Okay. Sorry about that. So let me take a look here at this open interest. So currently for tomorrow, yeah, it's dropped just a little bit, 62.90. So max pain dropped from 6,300 to 62.90. And for Friday, 60.75. So a little bit higher, I think. So 6075 way down here. Okay. Let's take a look at on the weekly right here. So right in front of the weekly threes. That's why everybody's trying to get a jump on this. We are going to run into some support at 62.44. And then once that clears, it'll be a good shot down to 6,100 and then 60.75. So we might do a little bit of bottom bouncing tomorrow between 62.50 and 6,300. Um, we have, plenty of time to get to Friday, and they don't, want the 300 points to come in one day. So, patience. But it's interesting to see the market front running that instead of sitting on the pen. So the pen dropped, and so we are almost sitting on it at 62.90. So overnight, we can put up There's the Globex from yesterday. The open hasn't happened at 1700, but I can give you the close. So there was an open and a close, and you can see the market came all the way down to the Globex from yesterday open. Now, the point range for tomorrow, overnight rather, for the Globex, show you how to do this. 32.25 and 23.25. So if we calculate, let me get my HP12C out. Where was it? 3 o'clock, 1500 close, 62.82.75. And we subtract 32.25. That's going to be 62.50. All right, so there is our PT3. And the reason we don't get the levels at this moment is because they're calculated off the open. And I'm taking this from the Globex close. So we'll get close and opens at 1700. But I'll get us close to these markers, 62.59.50. And one more. 11.50. 62.71. 62.71.25. So there we go. There's your 3 downside targets. We can do it opposite. We can go up for the first one, 62.82.75. So when you get that pullback, look for an 11.5 point pullback above the close, 62.94.25, and that puts you right on the max pain. Look at that. So you know that'll get hit. There we go. There's your Globex on the close, 62.94.25. And just in case it goes a little bit deeper, we can put up a PT2 23.25 to the upside, and that would be 63.06. Okay. Might as well do the last one just to have it complete. 32.25, add it to it, 63.18. 6318. Okay. And if we're looking for this midpoint, right there, 62.82. So 59. So we have our Globex levels um, ready before they print at 1700. And you can do that yourself by, you know, putting the point range above and below the close. I'm guessing that my calcs were right. 62, 82, 75. Where's my 3 o'clock? Right here. 62, 82, 75. Yep. Okay. So 15, 15. Some people will use the actual close this way. 15, 15. This is 1504, 1510, and we haven't printed it. 1512. So, you know, that will be, this is settlement. And so you would want to do this again, use these levels on the actual close, 1515. So I do both. I'll look at it off the settlement and the close. 3 o'clock and 3:15. If you change your data to the RTH, CME RTH, you'll see that it's still going. It's 1515. We're still moving. Yep. So it'll probably try to nudge up to settlement. If we do have a big gap, between the settlement and the close, then that's, really bearish. And there's the close right there, I think. Oh, that's 1513. We've got 2 more minutes. All right, so we can hang out here and chat for 2 minutes. But the big issue were these levels that we were running into, the 6 month level and the 90-day right on top. So as I have shown you many times, that's some strong resistance. And so we definitely are due for a pullback. And that's what the market is trying to front run right now. And this Globex range that we've just, done our calculations for, this is the point range estimate for the 1700 to 8:30 in the morning. A full range would be the lower number. The expected range would be the mid level, the number 2. And the first level is when it's a small flat range. It would trade between the ones. When it trades between the twos, that's more of an expected range up and down. And when it goes to the 3, that's when you have range expansion going out from the 1 to the 2 to the 3. So we almost going to have this close coming up. A few more seconds. And I can, recount. There it is. So there's a gap between. Oh, it's still going. Maybe it is 4 o'clock. Okay. I thought it was 3:15. I have the data on the right time frame. Maybe they did change it to 4 o'clock. So it will be the difference. We'll find our RTH close and compare that to the settlement. and use that spread as the gap. And then just run the data series again. Use instrument settings. We'll get the current ETH time frame, the 24/7, with the maintenance hour put into it. So very specific. Um, Best to use is 32.25, 23.25, and 11.50 for our overnight. Um, I like to use it from settlement and from close. I'll run it both. Okay. All right. That's enough of the indicator. And you get the hint. I mean, we never touched them, right? I sent that picture this morning, and told you you weren't going to get up there to touch those. They don't want you on their risk lines, and that is a fact. So this looks like it's starting to come down now. Pretty good. That looks like a big bear bar. And that's what, a lot of the algos and things like that will get on board with this bear bar now. And we're going to run right into that monthly one. We're sitting on a monthly one here, and we're back on my zipper. There's a lot of volume in here because it just zippered for a few days. Look at this from, July 2nd, or really from the 1st all the way through this zipper. So we're going to have a ton of chop in here. There's a ton of volume sitting on this. So would it surprise me for this to bounce back up at this point, go back higher, hit all that volume and go back up? NVIDIA had a great day today. So no, it wouldn't surprise me, but you know, anything can happen. I just think, we're going to be flat until Friday and then have the bottom come out. But that does look like the market is wanting to front run it. We all know it's coming. And the problem is that high GACs. The reason we can't sell it off soon is because they are loaded up in GEX. And so I wish I could show you this. It is huge. 17. It was at 17 today. And we just, broke above it a little bit. So 17 was the line today, which is why it held in here so well at the daily one, pinned to that 17, and then finally it's broken out to go higher. And we go into small GEX land, still negative until you get to 20, but much smaller negative GEX. But we're going to have all that volume. I just showed it to you. I mean, the volume will act like the GEX. We're just going to hit all this chop in here as it works its way through. So hold on to your sombreros for the next couple of days. It's not going to be an easy ride. And for a market top, if they pushed off that high like they did, like right here, what it looks like, then we got lucky with no volatility, basically. I have seen market tops get so spiky, wild, 20, 50 point swings up and down quickly. This would be, a very managed descent. So, and you're very lucky for that. If it is going to go straight down into this support, right? We got weekly support at 23 and monthly support at 18, 44 rather, 44 and then 23. So if you clear 44, you're going to go right into week at 61.93 too. So it's to say it's going to be bumpy is an understatement. All right, guys, I'll have a more full report for you in the morning. I hope you all have a nice evening, and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you again.